Welcome back to the channel. So we're just in front of my front door at my apartment in Kampot, Cambodia. Very quiet, so I'm not talking too loud right now. And if it's your first time seeing me, I'm a Canadian. I've lived in Cambodia for like 3.5 years. I was in Phnom Penh for most of that time, and just about 2.5 weeks ago, I moved out to the beautiful countryside in Kampot here. And so I've done, about a week ago or whenever, I did a live stream in the city, walking around like in downtown. But where I live right now, where I'm standing here, is like 3 kilometers away from town. And there's a road right out here, and we're gonna walk down and, go for like 45 minutes or an hour around, walking around out here, more in the rural countryside, 3 kilometers outside of town. So that's starting off here at my place. If you want to see a video on this resort, I made one, so you can go look at that after. Hello, Alice. Hello, way deep inside. Thanks for joining. So if you've been watching, today's Tuesday, but this past weekend I was in Phnom Penh doing 2 gigs with my band, and it went really well. And I made a video. I stayed in a hotel that was only $16, and you get a breakfast buffet in the morning too. And I made a video at that place, so that should be coming out on Thursday morning, so in 2 days. But my Tom Trips Out members, they can already see it. So I'm making videos ahead of time and scheduling them, and when they're scheduled, I make it so that only my members can see it first, and then on the day that it's scheduled, then it's public. There's a link below if you're interested in doing the membership, even if it's just 1 month. I understand sometimes people don't want to pay that every month, but you could sign up for 1 month and then quit and then just binge everything that's there. There's like over 150 videos, and as I say, now that I'm scheduling them, they get sneak peeks. And my plan today is there's this iconic, I don't know what to call it. I guess it's a restaurant, but it's more like a bakery and desserts. It's called Kampot Pie and Ice Cream downtown, and it's right on a corner in a central location. Kampot Pie and Ice Cream, and they have really good like homemade cookies and pies and bakeries and steak pies. They also do food and ice cream and coffees and all this kind of stuff. And the owners are part Canadian and part Khmer, like Cambodian, of this pie and ice cream shop. And on their menu they have poutine, which, if you don't know, is a very Canadian thing. It's fries and gravy, and there's like little square, like cube cheese curds, and that's the important part usually, because everyone can do fries or gravy, but you can't get this cheese properly. People just put like shredded cheese on. There's your poutine. It's not really. So anyways, I'm thinking of later today, like at lunch, I'll go film a video that will be scheduled for like next Sunday, but the members will see it probably tomorrow. Is go to this pie and ice cream place and try, like, I can only eat so much, but like maybe try like 2 desserts, like a cheesecake, a pie, and then try the poutine, and show this place downtown and stuff. And see, I'm the Canadian, I can tell you if it's real or not. But judging by all their other stuff they have there, they it should be good, I think. Okay, I'm going to read your comments now. Way deep inside, I would like to see indigenous birds. I hear some right now. Oh, dude, way deep inside, there was a video I made out the riverside. This is maybe 6 months ago. I don't know how, not that, like around that long. And a huge, like, toucan Sam, like, flew by. Like, its nose was like 10 inches long, like, big, colorful, huge tropical bird. Wingspan was like a meter or something. I forget they were called a hornbill, maybe. It's what because I posted pictures of it. You have to go back a few months ago. And I was just filming and it flew by in my frame and everything. So I was videoing though. So I like freeze framed and took snapshots of the freeze frame. We had a ton of rain last night, so look what I'm walking in. When we get down there, we might see some birds. This road hits like a dead end and you can go left or right. I always go left because there's a really nice spot to stand by the river. But when I first came down here for the first time, I went right instead, trying to find the river. So I tried the wrong way first. But on the right, there's a really good views. You might have seen it. I did some YouTube shorts like 2 weeks ago when I walked around down here. So I think we'll go to the right first to see the amazing view, and then we'll turn around and go to the left to see the spot I stand by the river. Okay, it's so sunny I can't read the screen. When I get in some shade, I'll go over everything you guys are saying, and we'll stop for a second and read everyone's comments. Thanks for joining me. And hey, if you want to help me out or donate, there's the option to send super thanks or donations in the chat. But I always recommend, what I already just talked about is becoming a member, even just for 1 month, and then just quit. Because if you just send a donation, you don't get anything out of it. But if you become a member for 1 month, you get access to all that extra content and sneak peeks and stuff. Okay, I can stop here for a sec. Damad, is there a big difference between Kampot and Phnom Penh? Yeah, Kampot's like a very, very tiny, small town. It's way more rural, and it's like 3 hours away to the south, and there's mountains around, and you can go to caves, you can go to on top of mountains, you can go to waterfalls, there's beaches, but it's like river beaches. But if you drive like maybe a half an hour away, there's an even smaller town called Kep, K-E-P, Kep. And they have a beach that's on the ocean. Okay. It's just beautiful here. The air is so much cleaner, and it's quieter. Nima, hold on, let me flip it so you're not looking at my mug. Nima, Tom Daddy. I don't have any TEFL or teaching certification, but I have MBA and 2 bachelors in business from a top uni, native English speaker. Can I get a job teaching business at a school or uni? I think so. But I'm not the one giving out jobs, but because the type of job you're asking about is way higher above. You're saying like, teaching business at university. At that point, a TEFL is already below those students. You know what I mean? Like, kind of thing. They're not learning English for the first time if they're in university for business and you're speaking English to them. So that's probably wouldn't have an effect. They'd be more looking at your qualifications you said you had. So in my opinion, I think that would be good for like that type of job. But if you were going to just teach kindergarten or teach grade 3 or something and teach English, like it would actually, like it's useful to you to have a TEFL because it teaches you what you need to do and how to teaching styles and learning, and how different learning styles of students and things like that. And Nima, I moved to Phnom Penh in 2 days. I'd suggest trying a school that's called ACE. I don't forget what it stands for, but it stands for something. That school is way more high end. It's one of the ones where they actually ask that the teachers have a degree. So because you're have all these extra qualifications, I'd start there, and their pay is like, I can't guarantee what they'll offer, but it's usually about like double what the average normal teacher thing is. It could be close to double or double, like, yeah. I think you apply on their website, but that one they ask for a degree because they pay, it's such a expensive school, I guess, or whatever. Well, she was asking about teaching without a TEFL, but like at a university teaching business. So I think more like your business degree and all that stuff would be way more pertinent, or way more significant or important for that. When the students are like 20 years old, they've already been learning English since kindergarten. Like they're already got English is over. Like now they're learning business. So the TEFL doesn't really. I'm sure they won't really care if you, especially here. Imagine they don't always have such a large pool of such highly qualified people. Like you'd be so. Imagine the other people applying won't. You said you had 2 degrees, and I forget what you said. You had a lot of impressive. I think they would jump on all over that if there was. You can't just jump into a school that has no openings. So there has to be an open position. Let's stop and smell the roses for a second. There you go. I remember one of my friends applied and got the job, and then I went to the online thing to apply. And it's like an online application you fill out, and you have to upload certain things like, a picture of you or your resume, and then your this or that. And then it came time to upload your degree, and I don't have a degree, and so I couldn't. And you can't submit it if you don't fill in all the things, So, we hit that dead end and we turned right. We're going to go down here and see a really good view. But then after, we'll turn around and we'll go straight down that way, which would have been left. And the place way back behind me that we'll go at second is a nice view of the river. I'm thinking of I saw a kid fishing back there one time. And so growing up, I was in Canada, I did fishing, and, you go on a canoe and you go to camping and you can go fishing, like that kind of, not ocean, tropical fishing in Southeast Asia, not like that, but I mean, camping and on a lake and stuff like that. I've done that growing up, so I know how to go fishing. And I saw this kid fishing. I was like, I could walk down there. Imagine if you caught like a nice medium-sized, like chubby fish, you could take it back and cook it, make a video. It's not that impossible to catch. You just, most likely you just nothing would happen. I'd be casting a line out, and I'd probably cast a line out over and over and not even get a bite, I bet you. But sorry if it's windy. Oh, sorry, Nima. Do they really make you wear a tie every day? So, Nima, sorry, I don't know why maybe if I said she or something, I'm sorry. I guess the A at the end made me think that. I don't know. I'm just tired or whatever. The hell was I talking about? I'm just reading over everything here. Oh yeah, do they really make you wear a tie? So dress code. Every school can, oh, we walked by the, or is it coming up? Hang on. Well, that's pretty good. There's a better view coming up, but look at the, seeing the mountain. Every school sets their own dress code, but it usually is, a tie is pretty common. What my school did was, so you have to have a collared button-up shirt, obviously, right? But you might also wonder short sleeve or long sleeve, you know? And I really like short sleeve because it's hot here, right? And it's annoying to roll them up, and then you have these fat like cuff rings around the middle of your arm and stuff. The ones that come short sleeve are nice, summery, like. So anyways, the rule was at my school, you could wear short sleeve, but then you have to have a tie. But if you wear long sleeves, then you could not, just button it up nicely. So they would allow no short sleeve dress shirts, then you had to wear a tie to make, because I guess it's like already short sleeves, you're getting a little too casual, and then you take off the tie too. It's like you're on vacation. I get they're starting to treat it like that. But I've seen some teachers, like I'll be at the bar or somewhere and people come straight from work and sorry about these dogs. Just wait till you get. Okay, cool. Nima says their name is Persian. Nice. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I've seen other people who are teachers that you see them in their work clothes and they're wearing like a polo t-shirt that has the crest of the school, like, so it's obviously that the school gave them a. But when I've seen that, that's usually very young grades. But they can decide how they want to make you dress or whatever. Usually an international school, which is the most common place you'll probably work, they have the more stuffier dress code, like where you'll most likely need to wear a tie. And the reason is, unfortunately, it's a lot about image. And in Asian culture, that's a big thing with like between family to families and comparing, and they look at, and it's like the image and saving face all the time and what things look like. And so they want, when parents are dropping their kids off or picking them up and they see the teachers, they want a certain image. And I think it's the same reason why often like Canadians, American, and UK tend to be treated as like more valuable or more like a commodity, and it's just for the look of it in a picture or when I'm standing there when the parents come. Or they would take like a group photo for the website and they would make all the white teachers stand in the front. Like you could tell they want us to be visible. Like, as part of to help advertise, like. Okay, I think up here is the good view. I forget where it was. It was just so green. Yeah, this is coming up here, I think. There was one spot up ahead where like you look to the right and it just looked so green. I think it's coming up right here. Yeah, I think it was just that time of day, that time I was here, it was like, this field was like electric green, even though you can kind of tell still, but. It's in one of my stories, like from 2 weeks ago, YouTube or YouTube short. and I show this exact thing right here, and but the contrast, like the green field, the grass right there in the middle was like, you can tell a little bit now, but it was like ×5. It looked like electric green. Okay, I turned, we're going back the way we came now, and we'll end up back at that T junction, and we'll keep going straight, you know, heading the other way to the river. And that's going to be, you can check out what you guys think of. This will be a good fishing spot, because that's what I was saying. I saw a kid fishing there, and I might get a rod just for fun and go out there and see if I can catch a fish. Even just to throw it back. I don't have to eat it. But it'd be kind of cool to have a catch and cook video. Would be pretty cool. Oh, look, there's some cows over here. I'm getting roasted in the sun right now. And hey, if you're interested in teaching abroad and all that, I've got links below. I'm not going to go on and on about that. I do that in other videos. If you want a more detailed explanation, just look through my channel for teaching, or, you know, type in those types of keywords, and I've got lots of videos about that stuff. But there's a link below to the TEFL course I took. It's in the country here. It's with AVSE. Very reputable. They're government accredited. They line you up with your first job too, coming out of the course. So that's what takes away a lot of the scariness. They also do Vietnam, but you have to have a degree in Vietnam. But you could do it there too if you have a degree. Nima, that might be something you would be, because you're so qualified, you could like make more money if you went to Vietnam. Oh, let me read some of this crap. First, what part of Kampot you at? I don't know. I'm close to the road that's close to the road that goes to International Village. I'm close to that road. I don't really know all the names of the areas yet. Things are not going to pop off with Thailand. Damad, what's the second biggest city outside of Phnom Penh? Probably Siem Reap. How long did it take to get your work permit once the school hired you? Neem is asking. The school helps you get that stuff, because as an employer, they can get fined and penalized if they have employees that don't have a work permit. So like, as soon as you get hired, it'll be like that week, your supervisor or whoever's like kind of in charge of you on your first day, they'll say, okay, give me your this and your that, and we'll start getting it. Or they'll print off a letter of employment and give you a document and this and that, and say, okay, we always send our teachers to this, you know, visa agency that can do that, and you give it everything to them, and then usually you pay for it, and then you go pick it up, and then you give the receipt back to your school, and they'll put it on your paycheck. Like, it's not always 100% of it, but they cover a big chunk of it, like way more, like more than half of it. Like, I forget how much my school covered now, but like, and some it's different from school to school what they'll cover, but you know, it's usually pretty much all of it, like 75-80% of it they pay for. So don't worry, your employer, and if they're not, get them. Like, but it's your employer's duty to help you do that. Be like, I need a work permit. They can get fined like thousands if they got caught, you know, employing you without a work permit. They get in deep trouble. You don't even get in trouble, they get in trouble. Can you use AI to write your lesson plan? Yeah, for sure. Some schools give you lesson plans. Like the school I worked at, I had to make all of mine by hand, one by one. And now they provide them to all the teachers, and they do that so that there's like consistency between all the classes, so that you don't have one teacher like really lacking material and the other and another class that does way better, and it's, you know what I mean? And I've heard that they've like, it was when I was doing grade 8 when I worked there. It was me and one other teacher that split up all the grade 8s, so I had half and she had half. And they're using a combination of my lesson plans and her lesson plans, and they kind of put them together, and that's what they give out to people. So without knowing it, I was part of making their lesson plans that they give out now to everybody. And that was with real intelligence, not artificial. Oh, this dog's gonna take my leg off now. We're eventually going to settle back down in Cambodia. Try to early retire there in maybe 10 years. My wife is Khmer. We spent a lot of time in Kampot and Kep. LJ, hey dude. Nima, if you call in sick, does the school dock your pay or penalize you? No, usually you have sick days. Oh, there's a dog here coming at me. Usually you get a certain amount of sick days, and it's just like any regular job. If you're at a place that doesn't have, like if you're teaching privately or if you cancel a class, then usually you're not paid, but you would reschedule it or something. Like if you're a private tutor or... When you get a job, like most people, you get out of the course, the TEFL course, then they line you up with a job. It's usually at an international school. And that'll be just like any like corporate job in the West. Like you have everything, even some of them even pay into a pension. And it's automatically taxed, and it's like you have vacation time, you have sick days, you have personal days. Yeah, it's like all the same stuff as in the West. I might get a sunburn. I can feel it, you know, when you're getting sun kissed. Like I usually stay in the shade, but like, look, there's no like side of the road that has shade. Tom, you got a moto or you mostly walk everywhere? I walk everywhere or take tuk-tuks. Yeah, I've never driven a moto in my life. I've sat on the back. I'm on the cusp. I was gonna buy one like today or tomorrow actually, and then I keep on flipping back and forth between should I rent or buy. Buying's obviously way smarter, but I want to only pay like $350, and I'll end up with a really old, and it's risky because I could end up having to dump money into it to keep fixing it if it sucks or something. But if you rent, it's only like $50 a month, and you could get like a brand new bike. And then when I'm doing trips up to the mountain or things like that, it's not a 15-year-old bike that's going to break down and then I'm stuck on the mountain or something like. But when you buy, you can sell it again when you're done, and if you get any little scratch on it, it's like, who cares? It's mine. You're not like driving someone else's bike. So I don't know, with all my online stuff, the last 2 months have been going pretty well for me, and so not in a giant way, but I'm doing all right with like I can afford. My point is I'm staying home editing a lot too anyways. It's not like I'm going around everywhere, so I feel like I can kind of survive off tuk-tuks, even though, okay, in a month I might end up spending like $40 more than if I owned a bike, because I'm paying for a tuk-tuk. But if I'm doing all right with money, then it's not just to not have the responsibility, and it's like safer. That's probably the most dangerous thing about living in Cambodia, is just the roads are getting run over. I wanted to walk like past where that dog is, and he looks like a mean dog. Damn. Oh, Nima. Thank you. Nima just sent a donation. Hold on, I don't want to skip these other ones here. Nima, what's the best app for English to Khmer translation? What I use is Google Translate. So not the one that comes with your iPhone. Like there's one that's just called Translate, I guess. That's like, and it doesn't even have Khmer in it. But Google Translate is great. I use it all the time. Like there's sometimes the menu doesn't have English and you just use Google Translate. LJ, oh dude, I'm so glad to hear that more schools are providing lesson plans. No way do I want to spend more time preparing. Just give me a basic lesson plan. I'll create a whole hour around it. Yeah, I think they give you a lesson plan and there's maybe like 15 minutes missing from it, something like that. So you have to add one little game in and you kind of know your own class. So you know what they need to do or what you get to curate like one section, but like 90% of it's given to you. But that was just one school, right? It could be different everywhere. Are the music shows you're doing making you enough to live? No, the shows I'd make like between like 100 and 300 a month, like depending how many gigs I get. Like this weekend I went back to Phnom Penh and I made $80, but the whole trip probably cost me 50. So I only come home with 30, but I want to go to Phnom Penh once a month to make at least one video so I still have content from Phnom Penh. And I don't want to pay out of pocket to go do that trip every month. So if I could even just break even from a gig and then get content and see my friends and blah, blah, and maybe you buy things that you can only get in the big city and stuff like that, and then you come back, and then even if I've just broken even, I'm happy with that because I was able to go back, do all that stuff, get some footage, get a video, and maybe do a live stream there and no out of pocket. But so this time I did it and I had like 30, maybe 25, 30 bucks left over. And that's staying in a hotel. That's like, I did a hotel video there. I found one, it was only $16 and you get a breakfast buffet in the morning. Pretty good. Private room. Okay, I wonder if that dog is gone. Oh, I'm getting peppered by mosquitoes. Okay, we'll go, if the dog comes out, we're turning around. I'm not gonna get bitten. Nima, if you're a teacher, can you still party at the girly bars near Riverside, or is that frowned upon? Yeah, I've never been to those things, but you can, just don't take pictures of yourself. Like, don't create evidence and then post it up, and then like don't let your students find out about it through. And trust me, they'll find. You don't even have to tell them you have. Like, they all knew I had a YouTube, and I never even told them about it. Like, they'll find your social media and they try to add you and they try to like message you and stuff. It's like, so they'll find you within like 10 days, and then they'll see a picture of like 3 girls sitting on your lap, 3 hookers or something. Like, so don't create evidence that the parents or the kids will see. Look, mom and dad, it's teacher. Look what teacher's doing right now. And the parents see you. So this is the spot. I'm worried it might be like marshy out here because we had a really bad rain yesterday. So you could go over here and fish. Yeah, versus renting a moto. I think I'm just gonna do tuk-tuks for my daily life, and then but part of why I wanted to get a moto is so I can do, you know, adventures with the camp and make videos, you know, like go to Bokor Mountain or go to, or even if it's not exciting, like have a nice day in Kep, go for a rip, like it's like 40 minutes away or something, and or go to a waterfall or something. And those are all things where you could just rent a bike for like, even rent a bike for like 3 days, and each day like do one of those and film, give the bike back, and then next few days just keep editing those videos and stuff. So I could just rent a bike every time I want to do an adventure, and then kind of like stick to tuk-tuks. But what might change all that is the first time I rent one and I go, oh, what have I been missing? Oh, I love it. And then I'll, you know, then that'll change everything. But I don't have that fire in me to go, oh, I want to go for a rip or whatever. I like to just be safe and comfortable. And I don't want to worry about, if I'm out at a show, I'm usually drinking too. So like I'll have to take tuk-tuks half the time anyway, even when I have a bike. Like, or I have to bring my bass amp. So like so then even when I get a bike, I'll still have to I'll be paying for tuk-tuks and paying for a bike. Like, Oscar B, do you know where I can get some good cheese in Kampot? What you should do is look for like Google up a butcher. I saw one, I forget the name of it. I saw it in one of the food apps. There's a butcher here. There's a chance it might even be called Kampot Meat or something like that. But there's a butcher here, and he has all these great cuts of, it's like buying high quality meat, but then there's a whole section of cheeses too. So if you, and I saw stuff out there about it. I was looking at pictures and stuff, so I'm sure if you just search for it. So look for like a real meat shop. And then once you find that, check if they have cheese, and I bet you they do. First, Kep might be my favorite hideaway. Yeah, I love it too, but I don't want to live there, but I can get there in like a half an hour. Nima, how's the economy right now? My friend in Phnom Penh says all the bars are super slow. Yeah, this is the slowest time of year because it's raining every day. I know right now is a hot blue sky, but probably in like 3 hours, then it's just going to start raining forever. Yeah, global economy is cooked. It's like, it's not good, but it's not like specific to Canada. It's just like a lot of people aren't leaving there. A lot of people aren't going on vacations right now, you know, or whatever, or less people are. But I thought that might help with people's decision to want to move here, because maybe things are so messed up where they are, or they've had enough, or they want a change of pace or turn a new leaf and start something out new or whatever. And maybe I can inspire people to choose Cambodia as their way out of whatever is going on with you now. Like, I don't know. So we're heading back. This is the way we came at the start of the video. So I'll turn around. So remember, we started right, and we went down and saw the view, then we walked all the way back, and we went left and looked at the river. Now we're heading home. Nima, thank you so much for the donation. I forget if I thanked you properly. I know I made a noise like I saw it, but then I started reading everything. I really appreciate that, dude. If you want to help out, or if you saw that Nima did a super thanks or whatever. So if you have a request or a question or something you want me to do in the future, but if it's not right this second, but like sometime this week, you want me to do something and you want to drop some change in the hat, you can push the $ and send a donation, or as I said, just become a member for just 1 month and quit. It's $4.99. Then you'll get access to like almost 200 videos that are members only, and there's sneak peeks. You could see the hotel videos already up. The one I was in Phnom Penh.